Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the number one ranked gardening show on YouTube, in my opinion. I think that today I had a win. Um, I simply had a porch that was out for a few months, and it was just sad because every time I would come at the house at night, it would be the dark, and the front of the house was kind of dark. And so what I did was, it was one that I wanted. Was oh, hello, thank you for the thumbs up, thank you. One of the lights were out, and it simply was not good for security reasons, for safety reasons, you fall or whatever. So what I did was I simply got me what we call a light. I was looking for one that was a dusk to dawn and also motion. So they had the motion or they have the dusk to dawn, but they didn't have the combined together. And the one I bought years ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago, had those options. So anyway, I'm online, I'm looking around, and I found one. I said, there it is, and I went up to the store and got a light. And the light was not, again, not what I was looking for because it was pricier and it was not the same light. And so I go up to Lowe's and I get to looking around, and I look down, and I've already been up there like two or three times. But when I looked down, I found the light. And guess what, folks? It was identical to the one I just replaced, except it was a slightly different color, like a brass color. But it was the identical light. So anyway, grab it, um, grab a bulb or bulbs, because they don't sell just one single bulb, it's two bulbs. Um, and so I got it, a clear bulb. I wanted a clear bulb this time around. And I got it and installed it, and it was a little bit trickier to install than it was originally because you know, you haven't done it in a long time. Let's just put it that way. So finally, after about 45 minutes, I got it on and cut the switch on. It was beautiful. You know, it was beautiful. It just made me feel good because it's finally done. Now, I'm not going to try to do my roof on my shed yet because my knee is not 100%, and I don't want to get up on the ladder where the knee is not 100%. Um, so I got a crew that will can do it, but getting them together, getting them here, um, and just see what we can get done before the weather gets real bad. And so this video is about gardening, but I'm talking more about actually saving costs on gardening, as I usually do, and also save money on fertilizer, which I've been talking a lot lately about human urine on the uh, plants, and it works really great. So I will be using that in very big supplies of it this spring and summer, especially with the leafy plants. They really love uh, high nitrogen fertilizer, and so I will be using that. Um, I bought a lawnmower last year. Well, soon will be last year, but I bought it 2020. I bought a lawnmower that has a bag on the back of it. So, and the reason why I bought that is because I'm going to mow the grass and take the grass to the gardening area and use it to uh, to put around my plants so I can fertilize, keep them moist, and keep down the weeds around the plant. So it's going to be a win-win. I'm going to use my own grass to fight my weed situation around my plants. Hello, how you doing there? All right now. I say Angela, Busy Bee Gardener, and Homestead. All right, how you doing? How you doing? I'm just here thinking about ways to make my garden better this year. I did tell some of you that saving your seeds should be key part of your gardening now because folks, and me included, we've got to stop buying these high seeds. They are going through the roof, and we're getting used to paying the price and go, oh, that's what they're supposed to cost. That's not what they're supposed to cost. Um, these are a whole bunch. There's hundreds of them, and these are seeds, okra seeds, and I grew these. using, I had 14, I think I had 14 seeds left. And I never let my seeds get down to that low amount. And I took the 14 seeds and I put them in the ground and I made it work. I said, these have got to live or I'll be back to the store buying a $3 pack of seeds. So anyway, I grew them up and let them produce okra, fed the plants beautifully. And once they got big enough, folks, I was on a roll. I took every bit of what I was going to do and turned them into these seeds. There's a lot of seeds there. See how fat the pack is? That is okra. And I will grow more seeds this year. And I have another pack in here that these are the little bit pricier seeds, but it's a red burgundy okra. You see them on everywhere, but they're a little pricier. So I'm going to take these. How many seeds are in here? I think it's about 15 seeds in here. I don't know, 20, maybe 20 seeds. And I'm going to grow these into hundreds. And that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it do what it do. Um, so that being said, uh, I'm still waiting on. I got some seeds here. I believe these are the brandy wine, black brandy wine. Excuse me, black. Very interesting looking tomato. Very ugly the shape, but beautiful color. And this one here is a another type of tomato called a purple Cherokee. So I have those. They came in the mail, and then I have a what they call it's like a not lettuce, but cabbage. It's called all season cabbage, and I got those because I can put them in the spring and let them grow all year long and let them get nice and big and pretty. So I want to throw that at you too. Um, Always grow more plants than what you actually need because if you have any mishaps or any insects that might damage your plants or kill some of your plants, you'll still have some backup plants. So that's what I always do. I always try to grow backup. I will not need four tomato plants and grow just four tomato plants. I'll have 15 plants and only need four. And that's how you roll. That's how farmers do it. They make sure they got backups because you never know. You can't get that time back. Um, Now, I will not this year be planting my tomato seeds or my okra seeds or my squash seeds or watermelon. I will not be planting those early in the year and have to take care of them all the way through this winter. I don't want to do that anymore. I mean, I don't want to do that anymore. I have the equipment. I have heat mats. I have timers that go on them, temperature control situations with them, and uh, to me, uh, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to make certain that I have the ability to keep them warm. I have proper lighting that goes over top of these plants, um, and I want to grow them out to be big, beautiful, burly, thick plants. Now, the fertilizer that will be used for these plants that will help them grow faster and stronger will be human urine, which will be 1 part human urine and 15 parts water. Excuse me. And that's what I'll do with my plants. That's the name of that too. And that's how I'm doing that. And that will make my plants big and strong because I've tried Miracle Grow, I've tried organic fertilizers, and keep in mind uh, the mix that I use. I will put a little bit of organic fertilizer in the mix. I don't play around. I'm going to make sure my plants get what they need, and and I will use most likely I will use a starter fertilizer. So that's how I'll do that. All right. I guess that's it. Make sure that you grow something this upcoming year, and seed saving is going to be key. Make that a part of your whole thing in the garden because they will get you later for the cost of not having those seeds. They will get you because the stores don't have no pity on you. They now keep the plants marked up. Um, they were giving away some. The farmers were giving away some potatoes. You know, the ones that they don't want. The smaller ones, maybe some medium sized ones, but for the most part, small potatoes that they don't feel have real market value. So I held up a bag of those, about 10 pounds of them, and those will be my seed potatoes this year. Um, and that being said, that I will make certain that um, I use those for my seed potatoes, and I got to keep them all the way through the winter. They have beautiful eyes growing on them and everything, and they're giving those away. So I mean, a lot of because of the covert situation, some farmers are donating food to families. And so I said, well, someone offered me a bag of those potatoes, and I said, okay, yeah, I'll take them. And they make beautiful seed potatoes. Um, because when you go buy them at the store, you get three potatoes. It was like $7 for three potatoes. They call them seed potatoes. They have barely any eyes on them. I'm just telling you the straight run. They produce so many of them and pick them so fast that they don't even produce eyes. They don't care because they know they will sell. Gardeners want to grow food. And even if they get shortchanged with potatoes that don't have eyes on them, or very tiny eyes, what I really mean to say, very tiny eyes, they still going to sell them. And they're not concerned about that. They will sell them. So that being said, I'm looking good now. I got my potatoes. I got my seeds. I'm still waiting on my pepper seeds, my pepper, and I haven't got those yet. I bought some one called big chilies. They're a Texas variety of pepper, huge uh, uh, pepper that I will be growing from here on out, and I will because I paid $2-3 for a small amount of these seeds. But I'm thinking all the time, I bought these seeds for a reason. I mean, because I didn't buy them just to get the peppers. I bought the peppers and the pepper seeds, and that's why I bought them. Good afternoon, Mr. Gardner. Hello, how are you doing today? Hope all is well. I am here talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is gardening. And this time around, my main priority is going to be growing two things. One is quality food, and the second thing is I will be growing is going to be seeds. We'll have the seeds, stacking them in large quantities, and who knows? I might someday decide to sell seeds. It's a possibility. Um, but and some people are familiar with the run, how they do it, how they get them out to the people, and how. But I would want to price my seeds at a price that's not going to bite everybody in the butt because that's just brutal the way they do that. I mean, they take them seeds and just mark them up. I had one gentleman, he runs a YouTube channel, and I'm not going to call him out because he's trying to make a living, I guess. But here's what he did. You go to his site and you say, "Oh, he got these seeds." You start picking out seeds, and they're like real inexpensive. Okay, when you first see them, and you know what I'm going at with this. But then when you go to the cart, that's where you see all the marked up prices. I mean, he marked it up. He was like, he had some seeds that were like eight. I mean, no, excuse me, like $3-4 for shipping. And seeds don't weigh that much, folks. If you're getting about 30 tomato seeds, it don't take $5 to ship them. Um, so anyway, so he marks them up, and I look at the price. I said, wait a minute, this is higher than if I just took my butt on up to Lowe's or Home Depot and bought some seeds. Because theirs is marked up high too. But there, you can go do what you got to do. I just got here sweet potatoes and yams, and so yeah, if you and one of those communicate where you are not allowed to grow food in your backyard. That might hurt it. Let's see. I've never heard of that, but I believe you. You got some communities that got that. His yard looks like trash because he's growing food in his front yard, so it looks unkept. Let me tell you something, because I want to walk y'all down a little path that I've been through. One time I had someone either call the city on me, or okay, they called the city on me. So the city sent me a letter out. They sent me all these fines and everything. I had fines equaling probably around $700, and it said backyard weeds and what was it? Backyard weeds and unkept or whatever. So anyway, so I called my city councilman. Oh, you remember that? You remember that? That's been a while ago, but I'll never forget that. And here's what they told me. I said, I'm gonna go to court. I'm not paying these fines. I don't want to pay these fines. And so I went to court. They made me put before the court date. They made me put a huge sign up on the front of my house that his grass is unkept and his area of the yard are full of weeds and that sort of thing. So at any rate, front of the yard immaculate, side of the yard immaculate, back of the yard was what I kept was a natural garden, and that's what I kept. Um, and so the natural garden is somewhat unkept. It just is. And so back of the yard, okay, it's like that. And I had trees there and everything. It's a wonderful thing. That's really good information. Good information. Well, oh, thank you. Okay. I just want to make sure I saw that correctly. But at any rate, um, the fines came. The city councilman sent one of his assistants out. Beautiful woman. She came out. I showed all the letters and stuff that they sent to me and everything, and she started the ball rolling, and she was inquiring as to what's going on. Why is this person? And she came to the house. She ate blueberries off of my blueberry plants. She walked to the other side of the yard. The grapes weren't ready at the time, but she saw the grapevines. She saw the grapes on the vine. She saw the corn. And she saw that, and she saw squash, tomatoes. She saw a gambit of different things. Okay, when she saw that, she said, "This is a garden." So she went back. She told them, "Hey, look, this is a garden." So they went into the rules and regulations that they use to govern. Hello, how you doing in Food Farmers Permaculture? All right now. They went and created a little piece of legislation that states that if a person tells you it is a garden, you must, and it's a group of people that work in the organization must come out and assess whether or not that is a garden or not. When they told me that, I had nothing else to worry about. But she said, the judge did say to me, she said, could you do me a favor just to kind of, keep things on the level? She said, put a sign up in your yard that will state that this is a garden. Or this is a vegetable garden, anything that says garden, vegetable garden, whatever. And so they can clearly look at it and say, oh, this is a garden. So if there's any question about it, the sign was out there. And it gives you more leverage. And that's what she told me. But I gotta say to you, it was a learning experience. The judge, which was beautiful, she was a gardener. I gave her all my information. I said, if you ever need any questions, anything answered about how to save money in your garden, how to compost or anything of that nature, please look me up. Yes, I did my best to make it an issue so that uh, myself as well as others didn't have to go through that like that because it was crazy. You know, I not only had pictures. Oh, and here's another thing. I want to just throw this out there. I almost forgot this one thing that's very important. The judge, when I said I have a YouTube channel, I'm the Morning Gardener. I've been doing this for well over 20 years. And she said, you have a YouTube channel that shows your gardening? She said, what's the name of it again? I said, Morning Gardener Show. She went on there, she looked at it, she rolled the mouse and saw hundreds of videos of mine there and said, oh yeah, he's been doing this a while. Okay, yeah, this case is closed. And I was like, that was just sitting there like, wow, videos. Yes, yes, I did. I posted it a few years ago, but I tell you, when they sent me those fines, and they were telling me that they're gonna fine me every day, hundreds of dollars every day, until I correct that situation. And so I saw my gardening going away. I saw it leaving. I saw me going back there, cutting down all the cherry trees and everything, and cutting the grass and cutting the weeds back and trimming everything down, and I would have no garden. I could not let that happen like that. And another thing that actually helped me, we have at my job a reverend, and he said, if I were you, I would fight it. He said, if that's a garden, and you know it's a garden, he said, take some pictures of your grapes and your corn and take that into court with you. Well, it wasn't the kind of court when I got there. It was a judge. It was a representative from the city council that was speaking on my behalf. Um, the person that wrote up all the tickets on me and everything, the inspector, he wasn't there. And the judge said, okay, how can you, and I showed her the pictures and she said, okay, she was right. You could have took these pictures anywhere. Um, but when I said I have a channel called The Morning Garden Show, and she went on there and she saw pictures of me, she saw the garden, she saw all of this, and she said, yeah, this is him. That's his garden. Look how far back these dates go. I don't think he just made this up and put up a channel within the last 3 or 4 days, because he go back all the way back to 2006. And it will show me in there in the garden and doing this and doing that. But it was a learning experience, folks. And so I learned that if you're going to keep one in the front yard, I would check all that out first before I do it. I would check it first, because you got some neighbor, all they need to do is make a call, and they'll send your whole everything spinning. Because when the inspectors come there, their job is to earn money for the state or the city or wherever you live. Their job is to earn money for that. And if they have to write a big $500 ticket because you have corn in your front yard, and they're calling the corn weeds, or your tomato plants weeds, um, they're gonna post that, and they're hoping you won't fight it. They're hoping that you do just pay it. Because if you pay that $500, they'll be out there next month and give you another ticket, because the guard's still there. So that's how it rolls. I mean, it's really messed up. I mean, I had some sleepless nights when that happened, because it was my garden that they were talking about taking away from me. It was my garden. That was my baby. And then another thing the city did one time, I consider direct attack against my garden, which they didn't do it and say get him. They just did something and it affected me in a sense. I used to water my garden with a water hose. I paid for it, through my water bill, and then I got tired of doing that, and I put out rain barrels. And I said, the heck with this. I'm not going to keep um, spending money on water. Water's free. Look at all the water that falls every time it rains, and you're paying for it. I put me some drums out there. I drove around, grabbed me some drums, and slid the drum. Where I slide the drum in the back seat of the car. 55-gallon drum. Of course, I got a big size car, town car. I slid it in there. Gave the guy $5 for the drums each, and got the drums home. Went on YouTube, looked around at what design I wanted, because I knew I didn't want to drill holes in my stuff. I knew that. I said, I don't want to drill a hole. And I got these fittings from PVC piping. And I got the fittings that fit in the drum and downsized to 3/4. And I went over and I attached the two drums together, and I ran another piece of pipe, and I put a ball valve on each side. And so I actually built a manifold. And I could now store up to 100 gallons of water. And I was getting ready to go up to 200 gallons. But It was kind of pricey and kind of getting hold of the drums. Okay, here we go. Now, watch this here. Let's see. Let's see. I think it's so called, it's against the law to collect rainwater. I heard the same thing on it was in another state or something. And it was on YouTube where this factory was collecting rainwater on this huge building that that was let me see if I got this right. That was for a garden that they were doing on the roof, but they would store this water in these huge tanks, um, thousands of gallons of water, and they told them you can't do that. And the reason why they told them they can't do that is because it's against the law. Because if you let one person do it, everybody gonna be doing it, collecting water. And the water that they're collecting can be used for a lot of different things. You can fill pools, to feed your family, to pipe into your house. You can run your hot water. You can heat it up in your hot water to your. You can filter it and run it to your hot water tank. You can run it into your kitchen and your bathtub and everything. And they know this. They said, wait a minute. If we let one person do that, somebody will be running around here, got 2,000 gallon tank buried in their backyard. And when they got this tank in there, they'll just simply just keep collecting water. And they'll never have any water from the city. Nobody gonna let you do that for free. But I have 100 gallons of water. I haven't had any complaints about it. Nobody said anything to me about it. They, in fact, even sell these tanks to collect water, the big ones and the little ones, like I have a 55-gallon tank. They sell them. And in some states, they may have some regulations, but I haven't heard anything in Maryland to that effect. I'm not going to say that they don't. In many states, rainwater so I got that 100 gallon tank. Now, my 100 gallon tank's not working now because the collection part. Hello, how you doing? All right, backyard garden. Been a long, long time. Hello, morning gardener. Hello, everyone. They always say hello to everyone. Um, I see. I see. The water will eventually go back into the earth. That is just another way of taxing the people. Let me tell you something about taxing people. Here in Maryland, we're charged a rain tax. Believe it or not, when it rains, they guesstimate how much a year and how much hard ground we have around our properties, which I don't have any hard ground. Mine is all dirt, but yet they still charge me rain tax. My whole backyard, my whole front yard is all grass, which means it goes back into the earth. It does not, I don't have a hard surface. In front of my door is owned by the city. So they shouldn't be charging me for what falls on the city's property, but they are. Anyway, that was our last mayor that came up with that, O'Malley. That's the last one. He came up with that to gain. They collect the money. They said it was for the protection of the bay, to clean up the bay. But yet, every time they put the money aside, and then they go dip back into it anytime they want to, whether it's to build a statue, whether it's to help with something else that they feel is a priority, they go dip into it. So it's not there for the bay. It's never there for the bay once you go look for it. Hey, Howie. Hey, Howie. All right. Everybody speaking to each other is a beautiful thing. But I'm going to get out of here because I know I'm talking you guys' ears off. I know that I am. I can tell because the traffic slowed up. The thing about it is make certain that, because I have a friend of mine, he's talking about starting a garden, and it's the same guy that used to get some squash from me at times. Uh, uh, always evaluate the situation before you get into it. He's going to start a garden because he just bought his house. He's happy that he bought his house, and now he's mimicking what I'm doing, which is starting a garden. And I think he should start a garden. I think he absolutely should. He should have been started a garden because it's just a wonderful thing to do. Now he's going to go raised bed. I'm not. I've got two raised beds, but they're small and insignificant, 4x4, both of them, and full of weeds and everything. So I got to clean them up and see if I want to use them this year. Excuse me. So lots of snakes in my yard. Lots of snakes. They come from the fact that my environment there is perfectly suited for them, and so they hang around and go up under tarps and things like that to stay close to the surface so they can go out and hunt at night. Thank you. Yeah, I think I got go also. If you do plant sweet potatoes, don't let them freeze. Keep them warm. Getting cold will. Okay, we'll do. I've tried growing sweet potatoes for years and to no avail, but I think someday I will give it another try. Healthy food for you. Sweet potatoes is a beautiful thing. They tell me that they can take over your yard like a weed, but that wouldn't be a problem for me. I would still dig them and eat them. I'm not worried about them being an issue. But folks, it's been wonderful. But I gotta go to the barber, get my hair trimmed up, and get ready for work. So it's been real nice seeing you people pop up there and backyard gardener. Don't be a stranger. And we now got Mr. Food Forest Permaculturist at Peace. I didn't see that at first. He's headed on. But get your seeds early this year so you can try to save a buck or two on them. Don't wait for the spring and summer for them to mark them all the way up, and then you try to go buy them, and it's just crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Morning Gardener, the number one ranked garden show on YouTube, in my opinion. Thank you, and remember to keep on growing.